Hey everyone, I recently got back from a vacation, and this struck me as a good time to talk about some of my ideas regarding coming back from time off as a brass player. This particular vacation that I took was out of the country. I wasn't able to bring an instrument with me. Now, did I bring a mouthpiece with me with every intention of buzzing each day of my vacation in order to stay in shape? Yes. Did I actually pick up that mouthpiece even once to buzz while on vacation? Unfortunately, the answer is no. So this is the sign of a great vacation, but it also means that I knew I would need some time to reacclimate to the instrument when I returned home. As a tuba and euphonium player, I know it may be easier for me to reacclimate than, say, a high brass player, but the truth is that all brass players are different. Although I don't play the same fundamentals or warm-up routine every day, I really do use that first hour to hour and a half of playing each day in order to find my sound and to make sure that I can practice or perform whatever I need to play that day. In past years, when I have returned from a playing break, my biggest mistake was not doing so mindfully. So, how do we come back from time off mindfully? My first tip is one that might be a bit of a bummer, but here it is. Play with purpose instead of excitement. Here's the thing, we love our instruments. Coming back to them after time off often feels as much like coming home as actually walking into our home does. But sometimes the excitement of being back with our old friend in the practice room in that first practice session can lead to scattered and disorganized practice. It can also lead to playing way too much. This brings me to my second tip. Limit your playing time on day one. I remember talking about this with Toby Hanks when I studied with him, and he told me that when coming back from a break, brass players need to actively stop ourselves from over practicing on that first day back. That excitement that I was mentioning can mask fatigue, and often we are capable of playing much more on that first day than we actually should. So Toby would say to set a timer, maybe even just for 30 minutes, and only let yourself practice that much on day one. If you over practice on day one, you might be very happy and fulfilled, but you will feel terrible on day two, and then you'll need to recover from that. A quick story about this from my experience, even though Toby gave me that advice many years ago, I still struggle with it. I still fall into the trap of getting excited and playing way too much on the first day after a break. And the last time I did this, day one was okay, but day two, I noticed this strange feeling in my lip at a very specific spot. And at first, it actually felt very weird. It felt like there was a hair between my lip and the mouthpiece. I kept trying to get it out, and eventually I realized, no, it's not a hair. I could feel this tingling in, I don't know if it was a very small muscle or a nerve or something in my lip. It wasn't painful. The feeling did go away after a couple of days, but it was very disconcerting. And, brass players, we don't necessarily understand everything about the anatomy of the muscles and the nerves in our lips. And often we don't think much about them until something goes wrong. So don't be like me. Don't kill your lips on that first day back practicing after a break. My final tip is to make a day one practice plan. If you are limiting your time on the instrument, then you want to use that time as effectively as possible. You can even time out what you're going to do and then set that timer that Toby mentioned. For me, this means playing my desert island fundamentals, my favorite exercises, the exercises I would take with me if I was going to be stranded on a desert island. I also focus on exercises that I specifically know will help me to gain back my endurance and my flexibility. I also make sure to include a few etudes or musical examples that I know I enjoy. So not brand new material, but things that can help me get back into thinking like a musician, making musical decisions as soon as possible. it helps me to play music that I connect with on those first days back, and especially on that first day back, because often the chops feel weird, and that can be offset by feeling like you're making music and feeling like I'm really participating in that practice session, even if physically things are a little bit strange coming back from a break. So those are my 3 tips for coming back from time off the instrument mindfully. I love to hear your thoughts on what you do, what has worked or not worked for you in this situation. Thank you for watching, and take care, everyone.